Hello, my twinkling stars. I welcome you all to Module 7. Today, we are going to learn Social Study, Chapter 10, Important National Leaders. We have learned about Independence Day in our previous classes. We celebrate Independence Day every year on 15th August. India gained its freedom from the British rule on 15th August 1947. There were many freedom fighters who gave up their lives to make India free from the British rule. Let us read about some of these freedom fighters and their achievement. So students, we have learnt about Independence Day, okay? We celebrate Independence Day on 15th August, okay? And India got its freedom from the British rule on 15th August 1947. So there are many great leaders who fought for our freedom. So we are going to learn about them. Rani Lakshmi Bai. The freedom struggle of India began with the revolt of 1857. One of the leaders of this revolt was Rani Lakshmi Bai. So, the struggle of India began with the revolt of 1857, and one of the leader was Rani Lakshmi Bai. Rani Lakshmi Bai, also known as the Rani of Jhansi, was born in 1835. Under her father's guidance, she learned archery, sword fighting, horse riding, and martial arts. So, student, Rani Lakshmi Bai was also known as Rani of Jhansi. She was born in 1835. Under her father's guidance, she learnt archery, she learnt horse riding, martial art, okay, whatever the boys do, she learnt everything. She married Gangadhar Rao, the ruler of Jhansi. After the death of their own son, they adopted a child and named him Damodar Rao. It was decided that Damodar Rao would be the next ruler of Jhansi. So, Rani Lakshmi Bai was married to Gangadhar Rao. Okay, he was the ruler of Jhansi. After that, she lost her son. Okay, her son died. So, after the death of her son, she adopted a child and named the child Damodar Rao. So, it was decided that Damodar Rao would be the next ruler of Jhansi. After her husband's death, Rani Lakshmi Bai took the responsibilities of protecting Jhansi as Damodar Rao was too young at that time. According to one of the rules introduced by the British, after the death of an Indian ruler, only his own son could become the next ruler. So, after her husband's death, now Rani Lakshmi Bai took the responsibility of protecting Jhansi, okay, because her son was too young at that time. So, the son was not able to look after Jhansi, so she took up the responsibility and she was looking after Jhansi. But according to one of the British rule, means the British introduced their own rule and told her that only after the husband died, the own son can take over the kingdom. But because Damodar Rao was not their own son, so he was not allowed to become the next king. The kingdoms that did not have a ruler or had a ruler who was adopted were taken under control by the British. The British ordered Rani Lakshmi Bai to leave her fort. Rani Lakshmi Bai decided to fight against the British and formed an army. Now, because Rani Lakshmi Bai adopted the son, so he was not allowed to become the ruler. So the British told Rani Lakshmi Bai that you have to leave the kingdom. Okay, so Rani Lakshmi Bai now decided to fight against the British and she formed her own army. During the revolt of 1857, she fought for the freedom of Jhansi. She died fighting the British soldiers in 1858. So she fought with the British in 1857 and then while fighting with British soldiers in 1858, Rani Lakshmi Bai died. Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, also known to us as the father of the nation or Bapu, was one of the main leaders of the freedom struggle. He was born in Porbandar, Gujarat on 2nd October 1869. After completing his studies, he moved to South Africa to work. So now we are reading about Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so Mahatma Gandhi full name is Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He is also known as father of the nation or Bapu. So he was the main leader of the freedom struggle. And Mahatma Gandhi was born in Porbandar, Gujarat, 2nd October 1869. Mahatma Gandhi returned to India in 1915 and became involved in the freedom struggle. He introduced a non-violent and truthful way of protest called the Satyagraha and encouraged the people to fight through prayers, marches and fast. So when Mahatma Gandhi returned to India from South Africa in 1915 and became involved in the freedom struggle. So when he returned, he started fighting for India, okay? And he introduced a non-violent, means without using a gun or without hitting each other, beating each other, okay? And he encouraged people to fight through prayers and marches. In 1920, he started the non-cooperation movement against the British. He asked the people of India to stop buying goods made by the British and taught them to make their own cloth by using the chakra or the spinning wheel. So in 1920, he started the non-cooperation movement against the British and he asked the people not to buy goods made by the British. So he taught the people how to make their own clothes using chakra or spinning wheel. He demanded the British to end their rule through his Quit India movement of 1942. Finally, India got its freedom in 1947 due to the effort of our national leaders. So, Mahatma Gandhi demanded the British to end their rule through his Quit India movement of 1942, and then finally we got freedom in 1947 because of the effort of our great national leaders.